And here is the cross that is laid out on the ground that is 200 feet high. And here is Farmer John Harty, whom has done all of this, responding to the voice of God. John, give us your testimony. What happened?
What happened here?
How did this all start?
Well, in 1989, I was making a pond out here, and I come home on St. Patrick's night, and my wife Helen had just gone to California the day before, so no one was home there. And I went to bed in the back bedroom about midnight, and I got in bed, and I was wondering how I could pay the bulldozer guy making the pond out here, because I didn't have no money. And I started to say the Lord's Prayer to myself, not out loud. I got halfway through the prayer, and it sounded like wind coming in the room, a big roaring sound. And with that sound, a big loud voice said, "Finish making the pond. Then clear and level the field. Then make a cross, 200 foot long, 25 foot wide in the middle of the field. Then plant rye that'll grow 4 foot high around the cross. Then put the 10 commandments on the cross. Then put my commandment on the cross. Love thy neighbor as thyself." Noreen is the chosen one to do the artwork. Then people from miles around will come to see a work of art. And then everything went quiet, and I thought to myself, what the heck was that, you know? And in the morning I remembered every word Jesus said, and I told my daughter Noreen what I heard, and she believed me. And then a man from the next town come to buy tools from me, and I was all excited, and I told him what I heard, and he looked at me and he said, "John," he said, "I've been coming here 10 years buying tools here. I don't think you're nuts, but," he said, "if you tell anybody else what you told me, they're going to lock you up for sure." So then I didn't tell nobody for 4 years. I finished the pond, leveled the field, and then the kids were trying to fly model airplanes in the yard, and they couldn't get off the ground. And I said, "What if we make a nice model airplane airport in the field?" And then they got all excited. So I told the bulldozer guy to make a runway down the middle of the field, 200 foot long, 25 foot wide, and then 150 foot the other way. So they had 2 runways. And then my wife Helen was giving me heck, saying how stupid I was making an airport with no money. And then I said, "You really want to know what I'm doing?" And then I told her right after she went to California a year before how Jesus talked right out loud to me and told what he said to do. And I said, "Do you believe me?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "How come you believe me?" And then she told me that morning before, when she got up out of bed in that back bedroom to get ready to go to California, she looked up by the fireplace, and Jesus stood there looking at her for 5 minutes. She said he was tall, handsome, round here to his shoulders, small beard, with the robe, just looking at her and faded away. But she never told nobody because they think she was crazy. So then in 91 in the fall, I planted winter rye all around the airport, because Jesus said to make the cross and then plant rye. I didn't know why, but in 92, it was 4 foot high all around the airport. And then Noreen told all her friends she was going to do artwork on the airport. She didn't want nobody to come out there. So she was out there 8 weeks measuring, putting the 10 commandments down. And all the kids thought she was painting pictures of their airplanes or something. And then on Labor Day in 92, I wanted somebody to cut the rye, and everybody was busy because we were going to have a cookout that weekend. And then some guy drives in the yard and said he was coming up the road. He hadn't been here for 20 years, and the Spirit told him to come down to the farm. And he saw the 10 commandments. And I told him I was looking for somebody to cut the rye, and he said, "Don't look anymore." And then an hour later, he was here with his tractor, and he cut all the rye, worked 3 hours, And I said, I want to pay you for this job. And he said, all I want today is a cold glass of water. And he drove away. And a reporter heard about it and come, wanted to know if he could write a story. And I told him I was going to fly over the next morning from Gardner Airport at 10 o'clock to see what it looked like from the air. And he said, can I meet you at the airport? I said, okay. So we flew over and took pictures. Then he wanted to write a story, and I told him if he just wrote what I told him, don't make me look like a nut, he could have a story. So then I went to church on Sunday, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder and said, you see your picture this morning? Right on the headlines of the Worcester paper. It's done, and I'm happy. I thought it was all done. I was happy. And then that afternoon, when I got home, I looked down the road and cars were coming. 500 cars come that day. But our pump wasn't working, and Noreen had to keep running to the pond because they got water to flush the toilet. It was really hectic. And then in '93, the next year, there was a lot of people coming, and then I got the message in '93, right after Easter, to keep straight the things of God from religion and the world. So there's nothing to do with religion here, nothing to do with the world stuff here, just the commandments of God here. Then I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. I saw a big flash of light. It was a vision of Jesus standing way out the other end of the field. There was a hill out there on the left, and he was on the top of the hill with his staff. He had a big long staff with a hook on it across the field that said, God's wisdom. So I got out of bed, drew a picture of what I saw, and I showed it to my daughter Noreen in the morning, and she looked up wisdom in the Bible. It said there's two kinds of wisdom. There's man's wisdom, which men do wise things for the good for God, and then there's God's wisdom, which is the 10 Commandments, it says in the Bible. And then a week later, again I woke up at 3 in the morning, and I saw Jesus standing right in the middle of the field where the cross is, and the cross was behind him with all the commandments. And across the guy that wrote, God's wisdom cries out, please come back to me. So I told Noreen about that, and she drew a picture of it in '93. And so then in the summer of '93, we cleared all the woods out where I saw God's wisdom in the vision. And one guy took 2 trailer loads of logs, another guy took cordwood. And so we cleared it all off. And then in the fall, there was a big valley on one side. And I asked the bulldozer guy how I could fill the valley. And he said, you're never going to fill this valley. It's 20 foot deep. I said, well, how can I ever get this fill level? He said, the only way you can get this fill level, bring